Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are y'all doing? Doing good. It's good to be here. And it's good to. I look forward to Sunday mornings. It gives a chance to kind of refresh, recharge, face the week. We have, I believe, this is the sixth Sunday that we've met in the gym today. Sixth Sunday. And before that, we met 3 weeks down to the pavilion outside. Remember? I became one of the outside services. Okay, yeah. So y'all are basically the same crowd. And the third week it rained on us out there, and I was asking God what we should do. And then the rain came, and I saw somebody sitting out there getting drenched. And I took that as a sign. Okay, it's time to move into the gym. So 6 weeks, and then 3 weeks down here, we've been back having church. Now today, 9 weeks. Time flies. And we're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. And I hope it encourages you. But we never know. See, we didn't know before all this COVID-19 hit, way back at the end of March or whenever it came, we didn't know what was going to happen. And we weren't able to have church for a while. We couldn't meet at all. And then it opened up where we had outdoor services, and other churches were having the parking lot services and things like that. And then we were able to be here in the gym. But, the talk is up and down about this COVID-19. It's going to come back with a vengeance and all that. And I just want you to be aware that if something happens that we can't have church and meet together, hang in there. Because that's where we were before, and now we're able to have church. And if it would come back, and just for our safety and our health, they would say just, it would be best if you don't meet. The best thing I can tell you, if that happens, you read your Bible, because that's how you get to know God. The more you read your Bible, the more He comes alive, and you realize He's there and He's working. He's not just some God that you'll see one day in the future in heaven, and that's a good thing that we'll see Him and get to know Him then. But you can get to know Him now. And look at Exodus 32 and 33 today. We're kind of tagging along. We're finishing up the thought from last week, and so I got that's supposed to be a tent today. Okay, so use your imagination. I know it's 100 line, but that is a tent. And so it's an illustration for what we're doing here today. So let's stand together, and we're going to sing we'll sing the last song that's on your song sheet, on that yellow sheet, is Come Holy Spirit. See it right down, right above the boxes there. We're going to start with that song this morning. And it's got 2 verses to it. You sing it through, and the last line says, come in your own gentle way. And then it's got the word special in parentheses. So you sing it through the first time with gentle. And then we're going to sing it through a second time. And instead of singing gentle, you put the word special in that second verse. Okay? So we're inviting, God says, where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst. And so we're 2 and 3 strong. And so God's here, but we want His Spirit. We are inviting Him in to speak to our hearts and our minds and to show us where we need to be, the good things we've got from God. And so let's sing that song together. Come. A little high. I'll be good if you don't want you to sing that high. Come, Holy Spirit, I need you. Come, sweet Spirit, I pray. Come in your strength and your power. Come in your own gentle way. Come, Holy Spirit, I need you. Come, sweet Spirit, I pray. Come in your strength and your power. Come this Sunday morning. It's been hot, extra hot the last few days, but Lord, you're in control. We would ask you that you'd send a little rain for our gardens. It's been awful dry out on the farms. We've got a lot of farm people that are making hay, working with cattle, and doing all kinds of things. May you just watch over people, just protect them, give them safety. Lord, you're a good God. We celebrate all your goodness. Sometimes we just look at our stuff that we have and thank you for that. But Lord, there's so many other things you've given us. We're healthy enough today to be at church. We have the freedom to be at church today. We have your presence. You've promised to never leave us nor forsake us. That means you never bail on us. When things get tough and rough on us, we don't have to worry about you leaving us. In fact, that's when we can turn and look to you and know that you're there and you'll always be there. Encourage us this morning from your word. As we look at it, may we rejoice and sing from our hearts and just praise you and be glad that we're here together and with you. Speak to us through your word. We pray it all in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. Be seated. A couple of announcements. I just want to make you aware the offering plates are on the two little tables on the outside. I've had people ask me about the little tithing envelopes, and if you're interested in getting one of those boxes and starting to make sure you put your offering and do that in a routine way, there are little boxes there on those tables. Those are boxes of offering envelopes. If you get one of those, take it with you. There are a few little Father's Day gifts left on each of those tables. It's a little card that says Fathers. If you're a father and you've not got one, it is a small keychain that is a tire gauge, pressure gauge. And who doesn't need something like that? Kind of can check and see what's going on with the tire. And there's a daily bread there. If you've not got one of those, get yourself a daily bread. The song sheets, if you're looking around, everybody's got a yellow song sheet. They're on those same tables. There were some there on the center table there. I don't know if that thing still has some there or not, but we want to sing a little bit. And we have sparklers. Today is July 5th. And I want to tell you just a little bit about this. Is number 8 gold sparklers. There's 6 of them in here. And what we're going to do, these can be dangerous. And let me say that first. These can be dangerous. There have been many a young kid grab one of these sparklers when it sparkles and they think it's out, but the ashes and everything, the coals is still hot on that little metal rod. And many a kid has grabbed that and burnt their hand on that. So I'm telling you, be careful with that. And we've got, where are they? Okay. So Wendy's going to pass those out in just a little bit. All our youngsters, we're going to give you one of those, and we're going to give you one of our little plates. And the safest way to use these is to have that little plate, poke that sparkler down, put a little hole in that plate so the plate rests on your hand. And then you got a hold of the sparkler, and that little plate's over your hand, and you can, be Statue of Liberty, whatever you want to be, and it won't sparkle down on your hand. I was listening yesterday to a man who was talking about the dangers of fireworks, and that you can get burnt. And so, he suggested doing something like putting that plate there on your hand to protect you, and to wear long sleeves so that if the sparkler hit you, it wouldn't burn you. And I realize it's 95 degrees out, and now we're talking about wearing a long sleeve shirt, but if just for a minute or two while you were fooling with the sparklers, that would work. So this is one of the things that little kids get hurt with. And yes, we're giving them out, but I'm going to give you the warning with it too.
But you haven't said who we're giving them to.
Yes, we're giving them to anyone that feels like they're a little kid. Okay? So some of you big guys over here, you can say, I want one of those. You get yourself a sparkler. So I don't know. We've got, I think, like 24 of them. So looking around, a few youngsters, make sure you get one.
Yeah, we
We did.
But once we pass it on to the kids, I'll just set them back there.
Yes. And
If they disappear, I won't say anything.
Yes. Okay. And just be careful. Okay. So the Bible says there's a verse that says that we're to guard our heart, for out of it come the issues of life. It's important for us to guard our heart. On the same sense, we've got to guard against something happening with the sprinkler or the sparkler. So, just be careful. Okay? Well, let's sing that first song. This is my Father's world. Let's just sing the first two verses of that song on your song sheet. And let me see if I can get to the right. This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and proudly rings the music of the saints. This is my Father's world. I rest in the thought of rocks and trees, the skies and seas, and the wonders wrought. This is my Father's world. The birds and sparrows praise, the morning light, the moonlit light, declare the Maker's praise. This is my Father's world. He shines in all that's there. In the rustling grass I hear him dance. He speaks to me everywhere. I maybe never heard that song before. Anybody raise your hand? Yeah, okay. I don't know where you were, Roger. I don't know where you were, Alec. You just heard it. Okay? You got to stay on your toes here. Yeah? Yeah, you just heard it. But hey, y'all were doing really well. I can tell you we're trying to sing it. That's a nature song. And it's been beautiful. We've been having, I know it's hot, but it's been beautiful weather. I saw yesterday, was it yesterday? I was cutting wood, big logs, or the day before. Either yesterday or the day before, I was cutting some big wood, and I had this beetle flying. He flew across the little field, and he hit me in the chest and fell on part of the wood. And it was a beetle. I mean, it was a pretty big beetle. And when I looked at him, he had markings on his back that looked like two big white eyes. He was a gray beetle. Looked at his markings, he looked like the side of the bark on a piece of tree, but on the top half of his body, he had two little ovals that looked like eyes. I just stopped what I was doing, looked at him and thought, what is that all about? The explanation I had is God marked him so that he could maybe look like he was a bird or an owl, put himself in a certain spot, and maybe a big bird wouldn't eat him then because he was marked a special way. God's creation, it is an amazing thing. You take the time to look at and enjoy what God's made all around us. Last night, we were on our way home. We didn't get home before the fireworks started in town. But as we came down 42, we started looking and we could see the fireworks over there above Petersburg. But the moon was coming up. That full, big, bright orange moon. It was just right at the top of the mountain peak. And there was mist and fog across the middle of the moon. It was beautiful. And I was thinking it, but I had kind of said something to Wendy about the moon, and then she said what I thought. She said, it's better than the fireworks. And I said, that's exactly what I was thinking. It was like God, the fireworks go on, but God made that moon. He put that moon in the sky and said, you need a nightlight. Really, he gave us a nightlight. When you're a young kid, a nightlight just kind of soothes your fears, doesn't it? God, he thought of everything. Said, I need to put a light to rule the night. You need a nightlight. I watched that moon, it went up, it's up in the sky. It was so bright, I could have got the weed eater out at midnight and done some weed eating while it was nice and cool. the middle of the night. Of course, my neighbors wouldn't like that. You know, what idiots out there? What is that noise? And I got a couple phone calls or whatever. You know, God is good. Let's sing that last verse, okay? That last verse. This is my Father's word. Oh, let me therefore bear. Let go the wrong seems also strong. It is the Lord hand. This is my Father's word. Why should my heart be sad? The Lord is King, let the heavens ring, the rains let the earth be glad. The rains let the earth be glad. One more time. The rains let the earth be glad. So, it is a good thing. God reigns. You know, sometimes, I'll let you pass out the sparklers, and I've got a number here. I'm going to sing in just a minute. But sometimes the world, raise your hand if you've ever felt in the last couple months the world's out of control. Raise your hand. Yeah. I'm with you. The world, I mean, sometimes with what I see and hear, you know, you might be with me. Sometimes I don't even watch the news because I mean, it's just horrible what's out there. Well, that song we just sung just reminds us, hey, God's in control. And I'm his child. And he loves me. And he's right there with me. He's promised to be with me. You know, the fears I've got, I'll just give them to him. And trust him. He'll get us through all this. You know, sometimes I sit and I think, what does the world do? Those that don't have God, that don't have a rock, an anchor in their life. What do they do? That'd be a bad thing. So, listen to this song. God made a man out of the dust, breathed into him the breath of life. Man went astray, turned against God, did his own thing. Went his own way, so unworthy of his love. Yet he loved us just the same. So unworthy, unworthy, yet God still loves. Christ came and died, hung on the tree, shed his own blood to set us free. This gift of love was sacrificed from God above. He paid the price, so unworthy of God's Son, yet he gave him just the same. So unworthy, unworthy, yet God still loves us. He still loves us. Okay, Wendy's going to make her way back up front here. And we're going to sing another song there on the right side there. Search me, O God. We're asking God to search our hearts. And we're opening ourselves. God, here I am. This is me. And I'm coming to you, and you just have your way. I want you to know my heart. Search me, know my heart. And we want to have a good, clean heart before God. we're asking. Search me, O God, and know my heart today. Try me, O Savior, know my thoughts, I pray. See if there be some wicked way in me. Cleanse me from every sin and set me free. I praise thee, Lord, for cleansing me from sin. Fulfill thy word, make me pure within. Fill me with fire, where once I burned with sin. Grant thy desire to magnify thy name. Lord, take my life and make it wholly mine. Fill my poor heart with thy great love divine. Take all my will, my passion, self, and pride. I now surrender, Lord, and me abide. Let's everybody stand. We're going to sing that last verse. Oh, Holy Ghost, revival comes from thee. Send a revival, start the work in me. Thy word declares, thou wilt supply our need. For blessings now, O Lord, thy own make me. All right, thank you. Be seated. Taking your Bibles, we're looking at Exodus chapter 32. Exodus 32. This is where we were last week. We were in Exodus 32. And we were actually in Exodus 31 and 32, and we were moving along. And we didn't get maybe as far along as I was anticipating, so we had to kind of break this into two parts. And so, real quick, a reminder, Moses had gone up on top of Mount Sinai, and he had been there for 40 days. He'd been talking with God, and when he went up there, God descended and came down onto that mountain, and it was like that mountain was on fire. Maybe you've seen you've opened the door of the wood stove, you've seen them hot coals, wood just red hot in there. I believe that top of that mountain must have looked something like that, and there was a sound of a big horn that was blowing. There was thunder and lightning, the wind, and the lightning cracking and flashing all around, and smoke was coming off the top of the mountain. And everybody could see that, and Moses was up there, and he'd been up there now for 40 days. And the people all got together, and they started talking, and they wanted a God that they could see. And they talked with Aaron, and Aaron, in a sense, caved into what they wanted. They wanted something that they could see. And in my mind, when I think about that, they could see that mountain cracking and popping and smoking and sounding. And in my mind, I'm thinking, should that have been enough? But whatever, for some reason, it wasn't enough. They wanted to actually see their God. And so Aaron had them take their gold earrings and necklaces, things that God had blessed them with. They were rich. with precious metal, gold and silver, and he had them bring it and they melted it all down, and he fashioned a golden calf. And they turned their attention to that golden calf. They, in their, as I read about this, these people, these Jewish people, they still believed in God, and they looked at this golden calf as a representation of their God. But the problem was, God had told them not to make something like that. That was the wrong that they had done. God said, don't do it. It was the first commandment, and they had done it anyway. And God was up there with Moses. Remember, God was giving Moses all the directions on making the great big tabernacle, that portable temple where the people would all get together and they worship God. That tabernacle that was built, that was a huge undertaking. All kinds of boards and things would fit together, and curtains and materials and tables and candlesticks. All that stuff was to be made. And remember, God had blessed certain men with wisdom and skills to make things. And when the work was to begin, they were all prepared. God had prepared them all, and they found they had all the precious metal. They had everything they needed. God had given it to them. And God gave Moses the directions for all that up on the mountain. It hadn't been built yet. They didn't have that big, spectacular, big tabernacle. It was in God's mind, and then he gave it to Moses, and it was in Moses' mind. And then while they're talking, God says in chapter 32, look at verse 7. It brings us up to where we're at. They're talking, and then God says to Moses, the Lord said to Moses, go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. When God says they have turned quickly out of the way that I have commanded them, it's been 3 months since the Red Sea. It's been 3 months. These people, Moses had stood with them as they came through on the other side of the Red Sea. God had rescued them and delivered them from the Egyptians. Moses more or less gave a pep talk and wanted to know, are you serious about living for God? And as with one voice, the people all kind of said together, whatever the Lord says, we'll follow him. 3 months have passed since they said that. And here they are, they have made a golden calf, and they're worshiping the golden calf. And in their mind, that golden calf represents God, but God had said, don't do that. And they didn't. They had gone right directly against what God said. God had given Moses the 2 tablets of stone, and God's finger had written the commandments, and the very first one, they had broken down. And God said to Moses, we got to stop talking. You got to get down off this mountain. Because those people, they have just defiled themselves. They've corrupted themselves. Look at verse 8. He says, they have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped it and have sacrificed thereunto and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. See, God says he doesn't share his glory with anyone or anything. And although they may have thought in their hearts, yes, it's God, they had now had this calf, and their focus wasn't on God. Their focus was on this calf they made. See, if you come to church, this is a nice building we've got here. We've got a nice auditorium next door. Nice brick building, big, tall steeple. It really looks like a church, doesn't it? But if we're not careful, see, you can come in here and just kind of be blown off. This is just beautiful in here. And your focus is, you're distracted. Your focus isn't on God. See, God wants our focus to be on him, not on stuff. Oh, yes, and if God's given it to us, we got to take care of it. We're stewards of God, of God's things. And we we shouldn't disrespect or say none of this matters. It does matter. But it pales in comparison to where God should be in our lives. And that's the whole point. God says, don't have any of it. Don't put anything else in. I'm not sharing my glory with anything or anyone. I'm God, and there is none else, he says. And that was the whole problem here. And he said, verse 9, this is where we ended last week. The Lord said to Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it's a stiff-necked people. Even when you try to point out what they've done wrong, I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not going to admit it. No, there's nothing wrong with it. You're in a bad, bad place. If God reaches into your heart and your mind and says, hey, that thing you're doing right there, that's not right. If God speaks to your heart like that, you ought to be tenderhearted and soft and say, you're right, God. I need to change that. I need to stop doing that. I need to confess that. That was wrong. I need to agree. Instead, a stiff-necked person says, what? That wouldn't. And you rebel against God. Who are we to tell God he's wrong? If God puts his finger on something in your life and says it's wrong, you need to agree with him. Not rebel, be stiff-necked. And see, these people, that's the way they were behaving. And God knew it. And look at God's, this is the way God feels about this. God is so disappointed and disgusted. He's done so much for these people. Look at verse 10. He says to Moses, now therefore, let me alone. Just let me alone. God's wrath is really raging right there. And he has every right to be angry. I have done so much. And I've given you my commandments. You have rebelled. In a sense, what we're looking at is spiritual treason. They had just said 3 months before, whatever God says, we'll do it. We'll follow him. And a mere 3 months, they're going directly against what God said. And now God says to Moses, just let me alone. And why? He says, let me alone that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them. And then notice the last phrase of that verse. God is ready to make a new plan. And he says to Moses, and I will make of thee a great nation. God says, just let me alone. I'm going to wipe these people out. And Moses, I'll start with you. If Moses was a really selfish guy, he could have said, okay, get him, God, start with me. But that wasn't at all the kind of man Moses was. Moses had a temper. Because when he got down there where the people were and he saw what they had done, he threw those tablets of stone down and God's finger had written the commandments. Moses threw them down and shattered them. He actually ground them up. And he made powder out of that. He made powder out of the false god. And he had those people all drink some of that powder. He wanted them to taste the bitterness of what they had done. But I want you to see Moses' prayer. He doesn't leave God right there. Verse 11, look at it. It says, Moses besought the Lord. He begged his God and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thine people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? See, when Moses prays, his focus is on God. He hasn't said it all, but God, these are good people. He doesn't say anything like that. Instead, Moses' prayer, when he talks to God, he says, God, you showed your great power. It's been you that brought these people out. And he's reminding God of his greatness. And then he says in verse 12, wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Then Moses is concerned. The second thing he brings up, he's concerned about God's reputation. He says, God, if you do that, how give the Egyptians an opportunity. They'll all be running their mouths about how evil and hateful you are because you delivered them just to bring them out into the wilderness so you could kill them. God, that's not why God brought them out there. Moses knew that. He didn't want the Egyptians to have that as an excuse to badmouth God. And then, look at verse 13. He gives the third thing that he says. He says, remember Abraham and Isaac and Israel, thy servants to whom thou swearest by thy own. You promised by your own self, God. All this land that I've spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit forever. And so Moses, he didn't plead for himself. God had just said, I'll just start with you. Moses could have owned it all. No, he said, Lord, remember your promise. And so God did remember his promise. Moses comes down off the mountain, throws the writing of the tablets on the ground. Joshua, he had been here, and he thought there was a war going on. Joshua had been there on the mountain with him, and he thought he heard war going on. But Moses said, no, I'm here to sing. They get down there, and they're dancing around, they're worshiping the golden calf. Moses says, are you furious with him? And he destroys that golden calf. He gathers up those that would come with him and side with him on God's side, and the Levites step up and say, I'm with you. And Moses instructed those men to put their sword on their side. And as I read these verses, if you read down to verse number 27, look at 27. He said to them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from the gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, every man his neighbor. Into verse 28 says, and there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men. About 3,000 men were slain because of this rebellious, this treasonous act that the nation of Israel did while Moses was gone. They didn't think he was coming back. Why did 3,000 men die? The Bible doesn't actually say that. Other than we know that the whole nation was involved in an evil plot against God. They'd been disobedient. The only logical answer I could come up with was maybe the 3,000 men that are slain were the ones that were the stiff-necked group that said, we haven't done anything wrong. What's the problem? And refused to acknowledge that they'd done the wrong thing. Because as we read this story, we quickly realize that people know they've done the wrong thing. And there's sorrow there. There's shame there. And maybe in their minds, most of their minds are thinking, what were we thinking? Why do we do this? And in our lives, sometimes we may get involved in something later. We look and say, why did I do that? What was I thinking? That just turned out really bad. It's a really good thing that God is a God that remembers his promises and his words. So we're going to look a little bit more into chapter 32, the end of 32 and 33. But before we do that, we've got another song. I'm going to have Wendy come and sing. This is a song that shares about God, how good he is.
The splendor of a king, clothed in majesty, let all the earth rejoice, all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, and darkness tries to hide, and trembles at his voice, trembles at his voice. How great is our God, sing with me, how great to rage he stands, and time is in his hands, beginning and the end, beginning and the end. The Godhead three in one, Father, Spirit, Son, the Lion and the Lamb, Lion and the Lamb. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, we'll see how great is our God. 'Cause you're the name above all names, and you are worthy of all praise. And my heart will sing how great is our God. Yes, you are worthy of all praise, and you are worthy of all praise. And my heart will sing how great is our God. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, we'll sing how great is our God? How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, we'll sing how great is our God? How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, we'll sing how great is our God?
All right. So let's look at the end of chapter 32, verse 30. Well, in fact, let's back up one verse. Let's not miss 29. Here's what Moses said to them. Moses had said, consecrate yourselves today to the Lord. Consecrate means set yourself apart to God. Become serious about God. Consecrate yourself to the Lord today. Not tomorrow or next week. Do it today. That's what Moses said. That same message can be applied to my life today. Applied to your life. Let's get serious about God today. Let's set ourselves apart for God. And look at the result. He says, consecrate yourself today to the Lord, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day. See, God wants to bless us. He wants to be right there with us. He wants us to be serious about Him. And God says, if you will do that today, I will bless you today. Not tomorrow or next week. I'll start blessing you today. You get serious about me today, and I'll get serious about blessing you today. That's a pretty sweet deal. And so look, starting in verse 30, then it says, it came to pass on the morrow that Moses said to the people, if sin a great sin, and now I will go up unto the Lord, peradventure I shall make an atonement for your sin. Moses becomes a go-between. He is an advocate for the people. He's going to go and talk to God about the people with God. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, oh, this people have sinned a great sin. And they made them a god of gold. Yet now, he says to God, if you will forgive their sin, and he doesn't even finish finished the sentence. He says, God, if you'll forgive their sin. Then he just stops. He doesn't even finish the sentence. Look at it. It's just a sentence fragment in 32. And then he says, if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written. He's talking about the Lamb's book of life. That's the book that has the names of those people who had their sins forgiven. And those are the ones that experienced God's glorious place forever. And Moses says to God, just take my name out of that for them. If you'll just forgive me, just what kind of love does Moses have? Now, obviously, Moses is just a man. He's imperfect. He can't really. Moses' sacrifice of himself can't really atone for their sins. And that's what God says. Look what he says in verse 33. The Lord said to Moses, whosoever hath sinned against me, him will I blot out of my book. So God says to Moses, that's not going to work, Moses. That's a nice thing, Moses. That's an unbelievable thing that Moses offered. Remove me. You know, he's not the only one that said something like that. The Apostle Paul, when he was talking to God one time, and he had been sent to the Gentiles, and he knew he was burdened from the Jewish people, the Gentiles. And he said, if they can't come, Paul says, let me be accursed. He's saying the same basic thing that Moses was saying. Just destroy me, save them, and destroy me. What kind of love, compassion. Moses, remember, this is the same guy that when God first came to him and said, Moses, I want to use you to deliver my people. Remember, Moses said, I can't speak. I can't say, and God was a little angry with Moses and said, okay, your brother Aaron, he'll be the spokesman, but you're the leader. Remember, this is a guy that couldn't really speak. But boy, he's been talking to God. He's been praying some really good things on behalf of the people. And now he goes so far as to say, I'll sacrifice myself. What a leader. What kind of a guy was Moses? Yeah, he was angry at times, but he loved those people. He really loved them. And God, it moved God, and God was, he said, I'll be with you. I'll go with you. And so then we come to chapter 33. And God says to Moses, depart and go up to hence. You get busy, take the people, thou and the people which thou hast brought up out of the land of Egypt, unto the land which I swear to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. I'm going to keep my word unto thy seed, till I give it. And he says, I'll go, I will send an angel before thee. And God knows they're still stiff-necked. Drop down to verse 7. It says, Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp. Now, we've just been discussing the tabernacle, the big tabernacle. It hasn't been built yet. God just gave Moses the directions the day before for 40 days, and Moses came down and found the camp in disarray. They were forgetting God, and they had done some awful things. 3,000 men had died. And they hadn't had time to design and build a huge tabernacle. And yet the Bible says Moses took the tabernacle and pitched it without the camp. That word for tabernacle was ohel, Hebrew word for a tent. It's the place where Moses was dwelling, and it's the place where he met with, he was talking to God. It wasn't a great big tabernacle. It was just his personal dwelling place, his tabernacle. And it says he pitched it without the camp, afar off. And so I have this tent over here. This is a tent, okay? And so all the people that they had all been involved in this wrongdoing. Moses had been up on the mountain talking to God. He was close to God. Moses had just told God, I'm willing, God, you could just kill me. Spare the people. He loved the people. And yet now we're reading in this next chapter that Moses takes his tent, his tabernacle, and he goes out to those people and and puts his tent way over here. He goes in there. And everybody sees him. Everybody knows who Moses is. They're all watching him. He goes in his tent. And when he gets in his tent, the people watch, and the smoke comes down from heaven. The pillar of smoke comes down right outside the door here. It's God. God and Moses are talking. I don't know. Maybe they had a discussion one time. He's speaking to Moses. 40 days. 40 days. They just recently told you, Lord, all that you speak, they'll do it. And now look out. They have done the wrong thing. Oh, God, please, just be merciful. And Moses and God, they have a conversation, and then Moses comes out. He comes out in his tabernacle, the smoke goes back up, and people, the Bible says, everybody, when Moses goes over his tent, everybody stands at the doorway of their tent, they're all watching. That's what Moses is doing there. And it's afar off. I mean, the tent's really far away. They can't hear. They see the smoke come down, and Moses goes back over. He's going to go talk to God, and he goes in this tent. Everybody's at the doorway of their tent. They're all watching. And probably some of them are they're nervous. What's going to happen? Smoke, pillar of smoke comes down. Moses goes into his tent again. He's talking to God. He's far off. I don't know. Maybe he says to God, just not too long ago, in my mind, I can hear all the Israelites. They're all singing your praise and how good you are when you brought them out across the Red Sea and delivered them from the Egyptians. I remember hearing them singing, dancing. They were celebrating you. Now look at them. Made a golden calf and disobeyed you. They were so rebellious and stiff-necked against God. Sad. And Moses comes back out. People are watching. He's in and out of that tent. Look what it says. In chapter 33, verse 8, it says, it came to pass when Moses went out unto the tabernacle that all the people rose up and stood, every man in his tent door, and looked after Moses until he was gone into his tent. Look at verse 11. Here's the good thing. The Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. Wow. See, these people, they've been careless about their relationship with God. Moses didn't want to be careless about his relationship with God. And because they had been careless about their relationship with God, Moses moved his tent afar off. I can't be with a group that is careless about their relationship with God. In fact, these people had lived a very profane lifestyle. They just disregarded. They had committed spiritual treason. They had turned their back on God. Moses said, I don't want any part of that. He moved his tent way over here, afar off. And they had considered these people, they really thought they were doing okay. In a sense, they were the religious crowd. There's a difference. Jesus Christ and knowing him isn't a religion. It's a relationship with him. It's knowing him. And remember that verse said, God was speaking to Moses as a man speaketh unto his friend. Moses had learned to enjoy. God wasn't here. These people have been very disobedient, and Moses knew, I got to pitch my tent. I can't be with these people. He loved them, but he couldn't. He said, I can't do it. I want to be with God. And he went over here, pitched his tent, and every time he went into his tent, a pillar of smoke came down. Everybody watched. Look at Moses. Hopefully some of these people over here began to say, I want that. I want what Moses, I want that kind of a relationship with God. I want to speak to God face to face like a friend. That's what prayer is all about. So Moses talking to God again, praying. God's his friend. The Bible says there was one other man over there that came over to this tabernacle. when Moses would get done talking with God, he'd come back out of his tent. The pillar of smoke would rise. He'd come back over. There was a young man who stayed over there. Did you see that? Look at that verse. He didn't want to leave there. Look at verse 11 again. It says, the Lord spake unto Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. And he turned again into the camp. And so Moses come back into the camp. But his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. That's where Joshua had been. He'd gone over there, and he went into Moses' place. Young man Joshua had been staying in there. And when Moses come back over to the people, Joshua, you know where Joshua stayed? Over there. You know why he stayed over there? Who was over there? God. Who did Joshua become? When Moses died, who did Joshua become? The new leader, didn't he? He became the new leader. Doesn't surprise me. Makes sense. Who is he hanging out with? God. You and I, we can really learn a lesson. We need to hang out with God. Oh, I don't feel like, if you don't know him, read his book, and you'll begin to know him. Talk to him. I've shared this before. I've got that spot, I can kneel down there when I start to talk to God. It's not some kind of a memorized prayer. God's my friend. But I've discovered if I start to talk to God and there's been something in my life that day that's not right, God stops me. And I don't hear there's not some thunderous voice. God stops me in my heart. It's like he says, wait, forgive me. What about it? And he tells me what I've done wrong. And I have to admit it. I don't want to be stiff-necked. And when you start to talk to God, he starts to heart like that. It starts to become real that I'm talking to God. And the minute I fix that issue, God says if you confess your sin, he's faithful and just to forgive us and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. The minute I make it right, God says, come on in, let's talk. Come on into my tent. Let's talk. You know, the world is represented by the Jews. The world, we got to separate ourselves. God says, come out from among them and be ye separate. Thus saith the Lord. And so, in a sense, that's what Moses, he said, I got to get away from the world. I got to get away from that way of thinking. And I got to go over here with God. And that's what he did. Joshua, the young man, saw all that, and he said, as for me, man, I'm staying over here too. I'm not going back over there. And so, every day, we're being subjected to the world. And, boy, the last few months, how's the world? It's a pretty lousy place, isn't it? We look at it and say, boy, the verse says that I'm not a citizen of this place. I'm my home. Heaven's my home. I'm a citizen of heaven. And, more and more, I look forward to, I want to go check out my citizenship because the world is a lousy place. And so that's what we all need to do, myself included. I got to separate myself from the world and go over there and spend time with God. But how to remember why you do that? What was Moses' attitude about all these people that he separated? Did he hate them? Oh, I can't stand them. Get away from them. That wasn't his attitude. He just offered himself. Just take me out of those lands. He had come to their defense. He loved these people. He loved the people that were lost, in a sense, and had lost their way. And so when you and I move and we say, I'm going to be with God, at the same time, we got to stay focused that we don't give up on the people that don't know the Lord. They're lost. They literally are lost. And if lost their way, they don't know which way is the right way. And we know it. If we know Jesus Christ, we know the right way. So we got to care. Man, if there's ever an opportunity, we're living in a time when we can get somebody who's lost saved. They're looking for the answers. You got it. It's sitting on your lap right now. You got God. That's what we need. Moses, he said, I'll substitute. You take me out now. The boy, he was serious. He pitched his tent far away from all the distractions and the wrongdoing, and he said, I got to talk to God. You and I, every day, got to talk to God. Every day, you got to look at His Word. That's where you draw your strength. It'll help you. If you think, well, I'll just come to church this Sunday morning, he'll start to be at 11, and he's long-winded. He's gone about 7 minutes longer than normal, and I'll just endure all that, but I'll be good for the week. That's not how it works. I need God every day. So I encourage you, talk to Him. He will do for you and I like He did for Moses. I love that thought that He talked to him face to face as a friend. I want to know God like that. Prayer shouldn't be, oh, I got to pray. How long are we going to pray? Man, if God's your friend, you shouldn't feel like that. I get to talk to God. I get to talk to God. It should be an exciting thing. And you get to be with Him. You get to see His son, your brother in the family. We're all adopted into God's family, but the one boy that was there all along, his son, we get to know him. He's my brother. I get to see Jesus and hang out with Him. I got a lot of other brothers and sisters there. Man, that's exciting. But in the meantime, I got to pitch my tent away from the world, all the distractions, and talk to Him. Go in and out, talk to Him. God says, you do that. You become committed to me. Consecrate yourself to me. Set yourself apart to me, and I'll talk to you face to face as a friend. That's how all that's done. You're a good God. You're the one true living God. Help us to see you are real. You want to help us. You want to encourage us and strengthen us. And Lord, you promise you'll never leave us nor forsake us. And Lord, I believe in our lives that the thing we're looking for is somebody who, regardless of what we go through, somebody that we can count on, that we know, come what may, they're going to be there. That's what a man looks for in a wife. That's what a wife looks for in a man, in her husband. Somebody they can really count on in all situations. And Lord, all of us, we're looking for a friend. We want somebody that will love us and never fail us, never leave us. And that's who you said you are. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. That's what you said. Help us to see your real. And you love to talk to us every day. Help us to realize that's what prayer really is. It's just talking face to face with you as a friend. You love us. God, it's really good to know you and to have that relationship with you. I don't deserve it. I'm unworthy. I'll never be worthy of your love, and yet you love us. In a sense, it goes beyond words. This time to be together. Allow your word, as we read it, looked at it, to speak to us. Heads are still bowed, eyes are still closed. Right now, all across the room, if you're sitting here saying, hey, today I've been challenged that I need to get with God a little more and talk with Him and make Him my friend. I want to talk to Him face to face as a friend. I want that before. Starting today, I plan to talk to Him more. No one's looking around with you. If that's your desire, that's how you feel. You just slip your hand up all over. God's seeing your, yes, I want to be your friend, God. I want to be close to you. See those hands. God sees those hands. Thank you, Lord, again for this time. Watch over us this week. And whatever happens in the world, help us to realize we have an anchor. We have you in our lives. So take good care of us. Help us to reach out to somebody that might be hurting and lost. We can give them God. We can give them Jesus and the love of God. Give us that opportunity. We pray it all in Jesus' name, and all God's people said.
Amen.
Well, thanks for being here.